I know a lot of people that have difficulty determining the age of a deer, whether it's a whitetail or a mule deer, while it's alive. You know, there's a lot of different theories that you can determine the age of them after they're dead, but after they're dead, it's too late for the wildlife manager to make the right decision. So this video, we're doing it so it will help you be able to learn more accurately how to judge the age of a live deer. All right, just to start out with, I mean, I take a look at this buck right here and say, how old do you think this guy is? Because if you're trying to determine the age by the antlers, you're going to make a mistake. And I would say, forget looking at the antlers to determine age, number one. Always look at the body. The serious hunter, the serious game manager, the serious trophy hunter, and I know a lot of them, when they're out in the field and a deer comes in, the first thing that they do is they look for the age of the animal, not the score. And so what I want to do is I want to cover 3 different age brackets on deer. I think we need to break them up into young deer, and then as first bracket, the next one would be the middle-aged deer, and the next one would be mature deer. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, I think one reason why people have difficulty in determining the age of deer is that they just don't have enough experience. They haven't seen enough deer. They haven't spent enough time out, but there's a lot of tools that will help you to be able to become a better age determine, that will help you to be able to determine better the age of a deer. And that's with video like this, or looking at magazine ads. If you take a look at a mature deer, there's no question in your mind, oh, he's mature, especially if all you've ever seen is a bunch of immature deer. I know years ago somebody asked me, how do you determine the age? I said, you've never seen a mature deer? Nope, never seen one. I guess they're all the same. And he called me 2 years later after we had a talk, and he says, I saw the first mature deer I've ever seen in my life. So there's a big difference between a mature deer and a young deer. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, young deer, well, they look young. They're thin, they're sleek, they're lean. And when they come walking out, they almost look like a doe with antlers. Okay, it's real easy to tell a young deer. Typically, their necks are very thin, their stomachs are up high. Like I said, they're lean. And then all of a sudden you start looking at I say a young deer, and I'm going to call a young deer anywhere up to a 2.5-year-old deer. A 2.5-year-old deer, by that time, he's really starting to put on some weight. So as he comes into his 3.5 and 4.5-year-old age class, that's what I call middle age. They're really starting to bulk up. They're starting to put some weight on. So you can determine the difference between a young deer and the middle-aged deer just simply by looking at the body. The necks are more full, the face is more round, the belly is bigger, the chest is certainly bigger, the back is straight. What happens between 3 and 4 years old as a deer starts getting up close to maturity, the belly actually starts to drop a little bit. And rather than the belly being up tight, high, like a quarter horse, if you will, by the time they go towards 4 years old, the belly is actually starting to become level and start being straight across. So that's a real easy way to determine if a deer is in the middle age. Now, once a deer hits maturity, there is no doubt in your mind, after you've looked at enough of them, when one comes walking out, I tell people it's like looking at a pink elephant. They know without a shadow of a doubt that deer is mature. And so what you wind up doing, you start breaking the deer down into classes and you start looking. The mature deer, he's going to appear to have short legs. He's going to have a big, deep chest. A lot of times you'll wind up having some loose skin on the bottom of his throat or down on his brisket. He's got a deep belly on him. Old, mature deer is just something, whether you're talking about a whitetail buck or a mule deer buck, there's not a doubt in your mind when you see one. So as managers, as trophy hunters, we want to make sure we're shooting the right deer, and the right deer starts with being able to determine the age of a deer properly on the hoof. If you've got any questions or comments, make sure and post it in the comment section below this video. I'd like to ask you to check out our YouTube channel where we've got tons of how-tos, tips, and product reviews, and even some hunts. I'd like to thank you for watching and encourage you to have a better time next time you go outdoors.